So our class today is about the art of allowing, and that's been something I've been working on like pretty intensely for the last month, meditating on it, listening to talks on it all week, all month, daily, more than once a day, often. Whenever I feel myself constricting and pulling away from and being angry or negative, I'm plugging into another talk, just changing how I'm mentally processing during the day, so that I'm actually in a receptive place to allow what I want to allow. It's been kind of my journey as I think, I ended in the springs just saying what I wanted to work on was mysticism this summer. And that's what I've come to. It's the allowed being in the present moment. And how often I get the stories, they're not even things that are relevant, pulling me into the past, or worried about the future, or worrying about someone else's life. It's not even useful unless I'm actually sitting and contemplating. I have a problem. I want to allow my inner guidance to come in. Again, that word allow comes in. But when I'm tense, when I'm not working with my breath, I'm not in that place of allowing. And so I have my class notes today, and the words are allow, expand, create, let go, explore, and find. And so this is the vocabulary I want to use. So instead of the focus being on this class on we're going to master a certain pose, which is awesome, and I teach that way too, today my class is, the focus is how do we let the yoga in? How do we let that allowing happen? And this is the art of yoga too. So that we really begin to live with this yoga. And so this has been my adventure. I just want to share with you right now. So let's just begin with a sense of pratyahara, just closing our eyes. And the minute we do that, we begin this journey of more contemplation with the body. We're not using our beta brain cells to make sure that we're safe, to make sure that there's no reason for fight or flight. We're actually go, I'm in a yoga class, I'm safe, I close my eyes, and we begin to work with a different processing. And we can use these first moments to observe, where am I? How do I feel? And we can also begin to set that intention for where we want to be. And I did set an intention of this art of allowing. So if you choose, you can also say, I'm curious. I want to explore this concept of allowing. I'm not going to give you much of a choice because I'm going to keep bringing it up. And then the next level might be, what do I need to allow to happen? On a physical level for myself, I find that the art of allowing begins with my breath. Allowing my breath. And from my readings, from my listenings to people's talks, this is also what I'm understanding from their explorations, is that by allowing ourselves just to breathe, that's the magic. So let's go with the normal starting off of stretching. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms inside out. And now as you push into the stretch, notice your breath, okay? So again, this work becomes that, again, art of allowing the breath to happen. Even when we're in interesting positions. Go ahead, lift your arms up overhead and breathe your ribs up off your waist, lengthening through your spine, and noticing, becoming aware of how it feels to breathe in this position. Tilting to your right, breathe into your left side, opening up, feeling that breath. The change in the shape, and other side. So these changing, movable bodies, we're noticing the changes, we're noticing the movement. Then come on up. And lift the back of your heart space to the front and look up into your hands. Soften through the front of your throat and the sides of your throat. And notice or allow the breath in this position. Go ahead, please, and interlace your fingers behind your back. And squeeze your shoulder blades. So bring your hands onto your thighs. And instead of just noticing the breath that we're going to use so often, allow the breath. And allow the end of the exhale, a place where we fully let go. It really affects the lower ribs, this third chakra area. Good. So now I'd like to take the Bhastrika breath. Okay, we worked on this summer. And you can take it up to 20 times. Remember, listening to how your body feels. Okay. And at the end of it, go to that last exhale and then inhale and hold the inhale. And just kind of cruise on that for a little bit. Okay, so like Dr. Ladd taught, Yana Mudra, elbows out a little bit to create some space under the arms, and join me when you're feeling ready. Settling into your spine so that it's easy, it's not stiff. Play between dynamic energy and stiffness, finding that. Sweet place. It's hard, it's even challenging to be anything but happy. Feeling uplifted. So for me, and maybe for some of you, the experience is that that is a tool in the toolbox to lead to a sense of being uplifted, and then just being able to cruise on that. Let's next go into Kapalabhati breath. And just for today, because this isn't mainly about pranayama, but I'd like to do Kapalabhati breath maybe just 50 times. And then cruise on the exhale. So there's just a little lift of the Mula Bandha, a little lift of kind of Uddiyana Bandha energy. Tuck it under your ribs and gently drop the chin to the chest. Again, try not to harden the spine. Okay, so just go before that hardening happens. So after 50 Kapalabhati breaths, then hold the exhale. And then when you feel the urge to inhale, before it gets too strong, just come back into normal breath. Attention to the spine. Let the breath just flow as it wants, without a structure. Noticing the difference in the quality of how you feel. Just open your eyes slowly, focusing on the ground for a second. Noticing if these exercises, maybe one more than the other, maybe interesting combination of both of them, helps us get into this present moment of allowing ourselves to be at peace right here, right now. Now with this place of being centered, I'd like us to allow the Om to affect our bodies. Not just a ritual chanting of Om, but a deep understanding, because of the research that we've done on this word of Om, on this sound of Om, this bija sound of Om of the fifth chakra, that Om is symbolizing the creative power of the universe. You know, we're talking universe, we're talking and beyond. And that's something that if we really went there, if we couldn't filter it out and just calm down, we'd be screaming. This is like the fear of God. What kind of energy could create the heavens, the bodies of planets and universes out there? Okay. But luckily, we can filter and just be in a state of gratitude for opportunities, for nature, for love. Okay? And this is where we're going with Om. And so when we're not just doing it as a ritual way to start class, but we've gotten to this place where I can be in this sense of reverence to this energy. So we're going to take the A and the U and the M sound and then the fabulous silence at the end of it. Okay? You know, to not only pull in, you know, a sense of grace, but a sense of awe, a sense of reverence. So please bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. I like my thumb tucked on the sternum so I can feel that vibration. And I'd like to just let this be a rolling Om so that I'll start it for sure, we'll take 3 for sure, but that you're really, really feeling it and so that we can just, you know, kind of do it in the round, just kind of start it as you feel it. And please come into your breath. You're welcome just to use a complete breath, but I'd like you to stay focused on the breath. Whether you just are focused on the inhale and the exhale, just making them an even length and an even intensity throughout your practice. Or if you'd like to do the Ujjayi breath. If you're familiar with the Ashtanga way of including the lift of the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha to meet the end of the exhale, that's fine. But I'd also like you to allow the jaw to relax and the spine to relax. So this isn't a hardening process. That's kind of different than allowing. And most of what we harden is the spine. So as we go into these poses, we want to use muscular strength without hardening. We want to just delve into the subtler realm of our asana practice. So that's actually training every cell in our body to allow more. To allow what? To allow more love, to allow more abundance, to allow ourselves to believe in our own self-worth, allowing what? To let this body be open to allowing peacefulness. So please take this breath and this mindset into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And go ahead, just like when we were doing the Om, explore this pose by staying with your breath, by noticing how your body feels. I heard a wonderful instruction over the summer. Please look at your hands and make sure all the spaces between your fingers are the same. And what that did for me was it really gave my thumb a better structure to pull in a lot more, and all that pain in my wrist went away. So I'm going to pull these in. There. Pain over years of straining. And go ahead and move around with that pose. See if you can allow your shoulders any more opening. Allow the latissimus dorsi any more strength. Allow your throat to be any more open. That's a little funny. And come down into a child's pose with your knees together, please. Of course, unless there's any pain. And just letting your belly rest onto your legs. I'd like you to practice your inhale and your exhale. Filling up your back on the inhale, because this is usually where we skim. Going up the back on the inhale. And on the exhale, really allowing the belly to relax and feel the pressure of the thighs in the belly. Just feeling the end of that exhale. And forward into plank pose. And see, even if this strong work of the body, can we still keep that sense of the inhale and the exhale? If any time you're feeling like you'd like to put your knees on the ground, you can. You can always take a gentler version. Okay, I'm going to teach this as a level 2 class. And so we're really focusing on the breath with our work and into downward dog. Just really letting those shoulders open. Nice. Yes. Lovely. Allowing the throat to open. Forward into plank pose. Come down onto your knees. Just in a tabletop position. Engaging the corridor of strength, the belly. Okay. Now we're going to lift the right arm and the left leg. And lift in the deep abdominals. Stay with your breath. Here. Shoulder blades in the back. And come on down. And other side. Breathing your way into that. Feeling a sense of connection from the palm of your left hand through your deep belly into your lower back all the way to your foot. And come on down. And come on to your right elbow. On your hip. We're going to take a elbow base Vasisasana. Left arm up. Good. Now engage the deep abdominals. Okay. So you're supporting the lower back as you lift up. You can stack your feet if you want. Or you can just keep one foot on the ground. Good. Feeling that strong work in the side belly. Good. Feel the connection from your feet through that deep belly all the way through the top of the head. Notice if you're making your jaw, allow your breath even though you're working hard. Soften the roof of your mouth and come on down. And other side. Staying with your breath. Elbow underneath. Check on your alignment. Okay, go ahead and bring one arm up. Stack your feet. Whatever you did on one side, do on the other side. Good. Noticing your breath. Noticing your jaw, the back of your throat. Nice. Watching the even inhale and the exhale, or the Ujjayi breath. And good. Over onto your right hand, Vasisasana. Again, you can take it with one of the feet on the ground, okay, or your feet stacked, and your right hand. Good. Noticing your breath. Get your head in alignment with the pose. Pull that shoulder blade into the back. Good. Allow the breath, allow the work to happen. Keep your mind in the pose. And other side. Breathing. Keep track of time. Pulling that shoulder blade into the back, supporting the lower back, and into plank pose and downward dog. Soften through the throat. And always, you're very advanced level yogis. You're listening to your body. I'm not teaching a beginning level class. I'm not teaching the hardest class. But you're to remember to take care of your body and rest as you need to. Step your feet forward between your hands, Uttanasana. Bending your knees and letting that lower back soften. Releasing the back of your neck, releasing the sides of your neck. Releasing the tip of your tongue and the sides of your tongue and the back of your tongue. Go ahead, bend your knees. Soften into your lower back a little more. Now, as you go to straighten your legs in Uttanasana, make sure there's no strain in the lower back. So if you can't straighten your legs without straining your lower back, then you shouldn't. Okay? It's not worth it. This is about hinging in the hips. Okay? Nice. Bring your hands onto your hips. Engage the deep abdominals. Knees bent as needed. Come up halfway. Feel the work right at that moment. Don't press your knees backwards. And then come all the way up into Samastiti. Good. Feet right underneath you. Good. And so Samastiti, not Tadasana. Samastiti, and this is how I've been explaining it this summer, is that place you go right before you're going to hug somebody. So you guys seeing yourself in the mirror, do you look like you're going to go hug somebody? Or your hands looking like you're going to slap somebody? Relax your hands. This is Nancy's Samastiti, Nancy style. Relax your hands. Feel the back of your heart space. There's that breath again. And you're just before you go, I love you. God, I just cherish you. So keep your heart open. This is what I feel like we want to practice. Okay? We don't need to practice. I'm just going to soften it a lot. Breathe into your back. Don't worry, I do this with everybody in the universe. And breathe into the back. And just be. So we let go of an outward form of what somebody else has pulled out their whips and said, Yahoo! This is what standing up straight looks like. And it's often the meanest people that have told us how to stand up straight. They're not nice. But then nice people have taken that up too. But just come to that place of, I actually am practicing how to, that moment before I go to love someone. My jaw, my throat, my breath, everything about me is allowing me to fill up with love. Now try and we've all gone there now, that's nice. Now try and go there and get that rigid spine and feel allowing. Go a little bit past what you usually go so you can really feel it. Do you feel it? Are you feeling the love anymore? Okay, so then just back off. So we have to go for dynamic energy, okay? With love. Good. Now we're going to take an up bend here, okay? So it's like we're looking into these beautiful lights up here. To lift the sternum up, okay, and open up here. And just let the hands, the arms be affected by that lift of that heart space open to the sky and come back to center to the point where we drop the ribs. This is that first movement of Surya Namaskar. It's lovely, it's lovely. So we're going to allow the heart space to lift. We're going to allow the shoulders to open. We're going to go through that Nike moment. I actually bought that sculpture this summer. Nike moment, yes! All the way to a lift. And we're just going to keep with our breath. I'm going slow, so there's just no way we can do this in a normal kind of breath space. And then dive over and be curious on the way there. Don't lose the allowing. Don't lose the love. Hinge over, drop forward. Good. Keeping track of your deep abdominals, lift into your lower back. I still want you to lift your head and shoulders as you press your fingertips into the ground. Squeezing, remember all 10. Remember that's a Nancy thing. All 10. You don't have to do it only when I'm watching. Lift up, lift your head up. Use those lats like crazy. And then exhale and soften over. Release from that. Good, and then step back into plank pose, and this is a strong pose. Okay, do you want me to take this out?
Yes.
Use it for your knees. Use it for your knees.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice and strong, rooting down, pulling those shoulder blades into the back, lifting the deep abdominals. So this is a core strengthening pose that's so awesome. Good, knees to the ground. For our first chaturanga, go through a micro chaturanga. Hold it for a second, without letting your hips drool. And then lower yourself to the ground, please. Good. Root your legs into the ground as you notice your breath. Good. Feel those toes widening on the floor, lifting the floor of the pelvis, lifting the abdominals to spread out the lower back, and then go ahead and lift the head and shoulders up off the ground. And just be in this pose and just notice this dynamic energy throughout the whole body, into the legs, through the legs, up through the pelvis. As you're breathing, again, enjoying just being. It's a little closer to you. So shooting straight out from the head, strong. Got those toes spread out. Then exhale down, rest for a second. And from here, the next time I'd like you to come up into this pose, but then breathe your way into upward dog. Okay, so hands by the lower ribs, come through that baby cobra without using your hands, and then root your feet into the ground as you press your hands in and find that, hello, and then make your way into downward dog. Again, create this pose, allow that new thing to happen. Okay, again, we can even bring in this beginner's mind, right? To take this pose for the first time ever in this moment. Bend your knees, look past your hands, stepping or jumping forward. Uttanasana. Good. Come into that half Uttanasana. Really remember, I like the thumbs rooted down. I know you haven't seen me all summer, so you forget. But by rooting that thumb down, we feel the inner arms. By rooting the little finger down, we feel the outer arms. We're fully present. Exhaling over. Good. Now as you root down, come up through that flat back. Lift your abdominals. And we get this moment right here. It's the best moment in the world. Just stay here for a moment. Wow! This is a wow moment. This is a power pose, a passion pose. And then continue up. Come on in. And just bring your arms, come back to Samastiti. Now the usefulness of Surya Namaskar would be, does Samastiti feel even better? Do we feel more passion? Do we feel more energy? Or are we just doing that ritual sun salutation that has lost meaning? Okay. Finding the passion. Let's do it with the breath. Okay. Feet right underneath you. Breathing. Okay, so please, your job is to keep the breath. Keep the mind on that breath. And inhaling, swoop your arms up. Let me feel the passion. Exhale over Uttanasana. We're teaching more passion to our body. Inhale, lift your head and your tailbone. Stepping or jumping back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Whatever's right for you. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And the exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Enjoying the process. Breathing here. Softening through the throat and the neck, even as we root the hands into the ground. Feeling that lovely strength in our arms. Bending your knees, looking past your hands, stepping or jumping forward. Inhale, root down as you lift your head and your tailbone. Exhale over into Uttanasana. Inhale, please go through that passion pose. Coming on up. You can even smile. You can even look amazed. And then go ahead and grab a piece of divine energy. of that Om that we sent out there. Grab a piece of that and bring it into your heart. Now this time I'd like you to take it on your own. Take that sun salutation. What do you want to allow? Do you want to allow more passion? Do you want to allow more love? Do you want to allow more peacefulness? Whatever word. But use the sun salutation as a tool to bring that into your body a little more. Your own. Make up something new in it. It doesn't matter. It's got to be useful and not just some worn out ritual. Yes, lovely. And for me, watching you work like that is just amazing. It makes my job as the teacher of this or the leader of this sequence just fabulous. And it brings the heart and soul and the passion of these 5,000 years of teaching right here and right now. Lovely. Yes. You make my heart sing. And inhaling, one more to downward dog. Uttanasana, allow a full exhale here. Experience what does an exhale feel like during this process? What does the inhale feel like as you lengthen the spine and work those back muscles like crazy? As you step or jump back to chaturanga, how do you feel? Upward dog is like an opening to, oh my God, an expanded universe. And downward dog, Luckily, we're level 2, 3 students, and it becomes a resting pose. Good. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, finger jumping forward. Lifting your head, tailbone. Again, stay with the passion. Don't let it become an empty ritual. It becomes dogma if it's done without passion. It's everything all of us say we don't want out of religion, and we bring that into our practice. Oh, I forgot we're supposed to end with downward dog. We'll do something else. That's fine. Breathing here. Hands into Anjali Mudra. Good. Ekapada Samastiti. Shift on to your right foot. Lift your left leg up off the ground and feel the inner thighs kick in and the glutes kick in. Oh, all I have to do is this and I start working on my glutes. Fabulous. We're going to bend the knee. We're just going to take the same combination I do often. Step, reach that left foot back. We're going to step for Parshvottanasana. Good. And you're going to lift up in your abdominals as you step that foot down in the best alignment that you can. And you guys are looking in a mirror, so you can look and see, did I step far enough? And correct that. Good. Now we're going to slight back bend once we step our feet apart, right? So we have to give a little extra lift here. Good. Oh, we get to go through the Nike pose again. Lifting up, broadening, opening. We're practicing. There's a whole TED talk on that practice of our posture to create power in our body over and just enjoying the hamstring here. And we do that in yoga. We help people find their power. Just opening up the chest and arms like that. Nice. Enjoying your hamstring. Noticing, practicing being in the present moment. Good. Bend your knees, look past your hands, step your fingertips forward. Go ahead and lift your back leg up off the ground. Good. Now root to the ground. Lengthen from the back heel right through the top of the head and bring the right hand on the right hip. Good. Now you can just stay here, okay? Or you can bring the other hand onto the hip. It's up to you. You guys are in the spotlight today. Good. So breathing, allow more power in the body, in the back muscles. Now from here, even if your one hand is on the ground, we're going to lengthen through the spine. You're going to feel your head lift up first, and we're going to come into Vrikshasana tree pose. So lift your head up first. Feel all that strong work in your leg. You're going to have to grab your ankle. It's fine to put it on the thigh. Root the foot to the thigh and the thigh to the foot, and then move that knee backwards without moving the hip. Good. And you can just do something fun with your hands or not. It doesn't matter. But I want you just to feel and allow something lovely to happen in the body. Good. So again, taking this beyond ritual. Beautiful. From here, let's open out into Ardha Chandrasana. Now, if that feels like, whoa, Nancy, go into Trikonasana. But you're going to want to lift in the deep abdominals. Okay? You're going to want to stay with your breath. Don't make your upper body tense. Opening. Good. Breathe. Stay in your body. Root that down, pull into your corridor of strength, breathe into that back body as much as the front body. We're going to go ahead and step that foot down for Trikonasana, move the hand back, find that perfect position, shoulders stacked on top of each other. Bring the back of your head into the pose. Yes, noticing your breath. Root the feet into the ground. As you come up, we're going to take an extended version of this, reaching the arm up, feeling that lift up out of the waist. Yes. Now we're going to come out of that in one fluid movement into Ekapada Samastiti. Okay, so come out, stay with your breath. It's going to take some corridor strength, some thigh work as you step in. And step down. And just notice Samastiti. You can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra and just notice here how one side of the body feels compared to the other. One foot feels compared to the other. Nice. Let's take the other side. Hopefully I can remember. Take a little smile in the inside of your mouth. Shift the weight onto your left foot. Lift your right leg up off the ground. Noticing your Samastiti on one foot. Notice your jaw relaxed, your throat relaxed. It doesn't matter if a toe is on the ground. It doesn't matter. What mostly matters is if you're feeling like you're increasing your capacity to love. Allowing. Okay. Stepping back for Parsvottanasana. Bend the standing leg knee, and then step back. Yep. Okay, root down, remembering that we put ourselves in this position, and as we step down, we have to lift up here. Good, and then the sternum lifts to the ceiling, and make it feel good. It should feel good as you bring your arms up overhead. Good, and then let your arms go to the sides, go back through that Nike. Okay, lift in your abdominals as needed as you go down. Bring your hands on either side of your foot. And enjoy your hamstring. Relax your throat. So if we did get off, and sometimes balance work can make us feel off from being centered. Come back to the breath. This is home base. Good. Make sure the teeth are relaxed. Bend your front knee, walk your fingertips forward, lift the back leg up off the ground. Good. And find that energy from the head through to the foot. Your feet look magnificent. Nice, strong energy there. That's fabulous. Bring the left hand onto the hip. Good. Noticing your breath. And you can, if you brought the other hand up on the other side, go ahead and do it here. Feel that strength in your leg. Nothing like balance poses to strengthen the legs. Crazy. Good. And from here, we're coming up into Vrikshasana. So you can come on up, grab that foot, and put it on your thigh, and then adjust and breathe. Smile on the inside. For me in my practice, everything has to be heading me toward a more loving person, or else it's not useful in my life. Make sure you have your back. Good. Now, just find everything you can within you to open this up into Ardha Chandrasana. So the work is a lifting work. I'm always feeling like I'm lifting up, up, up. Making that pose more full. Make sure you have your head in the pose. Oftentimes our heads get too far forward. Pull your head back. And go ahead and step down into Trikonasana. Go as best you can, get to that perfect place, and then adjust it. Right. It's just like when we talk to our students in class. We give them some directions, and then we walk around and we look, and you guys, of course, are fabulous, but we walk around and we look and see, did they understand what we said? Mm-hmm. And then we know what we should say next. Good. Rooting the feet to the ground. Feel like you're growing that left arm up into a lift. Beautiful. And because you're advanced level students, I don't have to give simple instructions. We can talk about passion. Good. And come up into Ekapada Samastiti. Take it slow. Remember, the slower it is, the more you're going to work on your strength. And go ahead and step that foot down. Good. Sun salutation with your own breath to downward dog. And don't let me talk you into anything up beyond downward dog. Enjoy it. Nice. Enjoy making that perfect alignment happen. Nice. And please step your left foot forward and turn to face the right side of your mat for Uttanasana. Remember, your feet are as far apart as your legs are long. We're not trying to do the side splits in this. If you don't think you can stand up with your feet this far apart, they're probably too far apart. Good. From here, what I'd like you to do now is take your toes so they turn out and bend your knees. And just play from side to side and allow, there's no real firm structure, but there's a lot of places to move in this position in the hips and stretch out the inner thighs and get into the hips. So just kind of play. And remember, if you have any hip problems, you don't want to go to the depths of your ligaments. Okay? You would take this gentle and easy, whereas some people who are feeling stiff might go as deep as possible. Remembering that more advanced level students can have problems in that sacroiliac joint. So you don't want to feel it there. You want to feel it in the muscles of your hips, not in your lower back or sacrum. Just kind of enjoying that movement with the breath, with creativity. Maybe making up the next fabulous yoga pose out there because you've just found something spectacular. And step back into downward dog. Good. Come forward into plank pose. Good. Lower down to the ground. Good. All right. Dhanurasana. Making sure your hips are comfortable on the floor. Now, the first thing we're doing, do a back bend. So what do we think of first? We think about protecting our lower back. Okay? So we're going to lift the abdominals up. Now, the lower back is going to bend more than anything, but we are focused to make sure that we're not going to strain it. So we're going to lift the abdominals up. Go ahead and grab the ankles. Okay? Reset the breath here. Good. Now here's just a glorious up bend, a moment for a glorious up bend. So come on up. And allow, we're going to go up and down 3 times. This is a hold I'd like to do 3 times, not that Sharon really needed it. And I'm going to lift up and around. And I'm going to ask, is your lower back okay? I'm going to grab this one. So come up, breathe there for a little bit. And then come down, breathe there for a little bit, and then come back up 2 more times. Okay, just what's right for you. This is such a nice back bend because most people can't do it. And it's interesting when you notice our breath here. Breath performs in an interesting way. When we come back to normal breath, it's like, oh, it's fabulous. Good. And that when we come out of it, there's just that sense of, wow, this is great. This is great. Good. And there should be no strain in the lower back. There are no back bends should hurt the lower back or feel a strain. In fact, in my mind, we shouldn't have to do any counter poses. That's just not a problem. But of course, we're yogis and we like to try new things out and possibly overdo things. So it's always good, again, then to do some counter work, which has to do with one side of the body doing one thing and the other side doing something else. Okay? So let's go into downward dog. And we'll go ahead and lift the right leg up and take that nice stretch there. Go ahead, lift the hip up. Again, this is a back bend, so take care of your lower back. And then step that foot and leg into Kapotasana. The knee turns out a little bit, pigeon pose. The foot is, we'd all love it if our ankle or shin were parallel to the front of the mat. But we all have different shaped hips. So you're going to honor that. I like when my knee angles out a little bit rather than be straight forward. So I'm moving the knee out if that works for your hips. Your hips forward. And go ahead and lean forward into the pose. this can be one of the most challenging places to feel this sense of allowing. Deep, deep, deep in the belly. Sometimes you feel like you have to hold back. See if you put something like this on you, if you can get off your shoulders and off the blanket, so you're not looking this way. Move your arms out, bring it into your belly. So there, just lets that feeling of deep allowing. I'm finding that if I do this pose even in bed at night, if I feel a little tense and I can't quite relax into sleep, I can really let go. And allow my breath. And see if you can give into this any amount, any more. Can you let go? Can you move your elbows a little bit and let go any amount? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and you can go through downward dog. Oh yes, please go through downward dog and go ahead and lift that leg. And then switch legs and do the same entrance into Kapotasana that you did last time. With the breath, a sense of allowing that deep stretch in the hip, letting go of tension. And again, if this pose didn't feel good, it wasn't right for you, you do something else. And that's where you're a more advanced student, is you know how to do something similar that doesn't make you stand out in class. It is respectful, but still 100% leaving without any samskara, right? any negative scarring to the body. Just enjoying the breath and the sensation in the body. And this is being in the present moment. Allowing ourselves to be in the present moment. Which again is so simple. It's the magic of mysticism. Taking off that filter of constant stress. Moving your elbows a little bit to see if you can go a little deeper. Taking off the filter or the veil of constant stress so that we can look at the world without the fears and insecurities. Great. Come on up. We're going to set up into Supta Baddha Konasana with the ankle wrap in it. So you can put a setup for you, but you can use your blanket to, the extra blanket to make the ankle wrap. Remember to open it out. So the ankle wrap, you open it out like this, and then roll it up so it's a little longer. So you can wrap around your ankles. You can use this one. Remember, so for restorative poses, and we can do them with some stretches, okay? But the true concept of the restorative poses is you're not going to your full stretch, okay? You're not going to your full stretch. So if you need some more blankets to put under your knees, let me know. I'm not going to put any music on just for the sake of this recording, but I do like some music on. But I can turn the lights. So let's open it one more. Is that enough for your hips? Yeah. Good. So we're going to end with a guided meditation. And if you'd rather not listen, you can just listen because you are working on just your powers of working past the stimulus in the room. Okay. What I'd like you to do is during this meditation is to allow yourself to get a little more specific now in this art of allowing. What do you need to allow? My work this summer started out with just allowing more income to create the house the gym is building. Right? So there was that. And then that was the beginning of the exploration of this, and it led to so much more, and changing some of my thoughts, my patterns, my positive mental processing, tuning that a little more. So we kind of just try to get rid of anything in the body that doesn't let us allow by doing our pranayama practice, by doing our asana practice. So now we can just tuck the body away. It's very comfortable, and you can go ahead and stretch your legs out if you need. And get a little more specific. Now, we're general. What would you like to allow? Allow more love. Allow more of a sense of self-worth. Allow more abundance in some area of your life. Allow a feeling of peacefulness. Allow a sense of playfulness. So you can get real specific here. And what I'd like you to do is right in front of you, I'd like you to visualize what allowing, if it had a physical form, and it might be that golden ball, it might be a rose color energy. Just let your imagination kind of run with this. It might be the beautiful waves of an ocean. It might be the cool shade of a tree. But let yourself go into a creative place and figure out what that energy looks like. It might be the stillness of a moment. Physically, it's the end of the exhale. For me, anyway. And bring that sense, this art, this craft of allowing into the center of the center of the center of your heart space. And let it begin to move through every cell of your body. Every cell of your body has some empty space in it, just waiting to receive. In fact, from what I can understand, it's mostly empty space. Waiting, just go for it. Put this allowing in. Begin to feel this allowing go through the cells of your rib cage, into your deep abdominals, into your lower back. Into the belly, into the hips and the thighs. And you go into your knees, and legs, and ankles and feet. That sense of being receptive. Come back to this energy of allowing that you've created in your heart space, and let it come through your shoulders and your upper arms and lower arms to your hands and your fingertips. Let this art of allowing come through your throat, the front, and the sides and the back. Through your neck muscles in the front, and the sides and the back. From your chin along your jawline to that place where your jaw meets your inner ear. Allowing your tongue to relax, tip, the sides, the back. Letting go in the roof of the mouth, along the teeth and the gums, the soft palate, heading into the sinuses. Allowing more of what you need to feel balanced. Relax deep behind your eyes and around your eyes, covering your eyelids. Relax your forehead and over the top of your head, through the sides of the muscles along the sides of your skull, into the back of your skull, a little begin into the base of the neck. And then come to the center of the center of the center of your brain space. And let yourself know that you are deeply worthy. The source, that God energy, the divine energy, has everything that we all need. It's just our job to allow it. The sun is always shining. It's our personal clouds that get in the way. Let the clouds clear. And allow the love of divine to come in. Please begin to notice your breath. Just as a way to kind of rouse yourself. Still keep the good feelings that you've accumulated. We want to slowly awaken ourselves so that this feeling, this understanding in the body sticks in ourselves, becoming more of who we are. Go ahead and gently move your fingers and your toes. You can stretch your legs out if you want. And then we're just going to find ourselves on our side. So just laying on your side, enjoying that. Whatever was useful from this time practicing asana, let it stay with you. Letting go of anything that wasn't useful. Allowing yourself to sit up. And if during the class or during the meditation time led you to any insights into things that you might want to create differently in your lives, make sure you honor that. I'd like to end actually today with a Baha'i chant that kind of, for me, really shows this art of allowing. And this is from the hidden words, which are said to be God speaking to us. O Son of Being, love me that I may love thee. If thou lovest me not, my love can in no wise reach thee. Know this, O servant. Namaste.